Welcome back. In a crowded Addis Ababa factory, Feno Tesalem, like thousands of other Ethiopian women, stitching shawls for export to the United States, pays the 40-year-old textile worker's rent and her daughter's school fees. Now, though, Feno Tesalem's job is in danger as the United States ponders suspending Ethiopia's duty-free market status, citing abuses and a growing famine in the war-ravaged northern Tigray region. Suspension of benefits under the African Growth and Opportunity Act would threaten Ethiopia's aspirations to become a light manufacturing hub and dent hard work, one economic gains in a nation once a byword for hunger and poverty. Now, the Sudanese army was facing a widening opposition on Thursday to this week's coup, with state officials in Khartoum vowing disobedience and activists mobilizing for mass demonstrations later this week. The takeover, led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan on Monday against the civilian government, has brought thousands of people into the streets to reject a return of army rule and demand a transition towards civilian rule be put back on track. In a statement posted on Facebook overnight, ministries and agencies of Sudan's most populous state, Khartoum, which includes the capital and twin city, Omdurman, said they were not step aside or hand over their duties. They declared a general strike, joining unions in sectors such as healthcare and aviation, although they said they would continue to supply flour, cooking gas, and emergency medical care. Foreign news now. The Russian capital brought in its strictest COVID-19 related lockdown measures more than a year ago on Thursday, as nationwide one-day pandemic deaths and infections hit new highs and amidst slow vaccination take-up across the world's biggest country. Moscow's partial lockdown, in which only essential shops like pharmacies and supermarkets are allowed to remain open, and schools and state kindergartens are shut, comes ahead of a week-long nationwide workplace shutdown from October the 30th. Like Moscow, some regions decided to kick off their partial lockdowns on Thursday or even earlier in an effort to cut infection numbers ahead of the nationwide initiative. Moscow's residents are allowed to leave their homes, unlike a sweeping lockdown in summer 2020. But the new measures point to rising concern among officials over record numbers of deaths that the Kremlin has blamed on vaccine hesitancy. Now, Germany, along with 11 other European countries, urged Israel on Thursday to reverse its decision to advance plans to construct around 3,000 settlement units in the West Bank. In a joint statement by the foreign ministries of Belgium, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, the Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Spain, and Sweden, the countries said they opposed settlement expansion across the West Bank. Israel moved forward on Wednesday with plans to build some 3,000 homes for Jewish settlers in the West Bank, despite the strongest criticism to date of such projects from the administration, U.S. President Joe Biden. Now, top Chinese diplomat Yang Jiechi met North Korea's ambassador to China on Thursday and expressed Beijing's willingness to maintain high-level interactions and strengthen strategic coordination, China's foreign ministry said. Both sides exchanged views on the Korean peninsula and other issues of common concern, the ministry said in a statement without giving details. China is neighboring North Korea's sole major ally and has played a leading role in efforts to press the isolated country to dismantle its nuclear program. North Korea has persisted with military development, including a recent missile test, despite international sanctions over its nuclear weapons and missile programs. We now bring you business news.
Hello and welcome to Business News. I am Frank Omalape. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has stated that it will not be held responsible for any disruption, loss of revenue, or loss of services arising from the use of the eNaira website. This comes as the eNaira Speed wallet vanished from the Google Play Store yesterday after over 100,000 users had downloaded it. The incident happened about 48 hours after the eNaira app was launched by President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja. Spokesperson of the CBN NO.1 said the disappearance of the app from the Google Play Store was to enable the eNaira Speed wallet to be upgraded. Still on eNaira, the Central Bank of Nigeria yesterday warned Nigerians on the activities of fraudulent individuals and impostors working to defraud unsuspecting members of the public through false eNaira disbursement claims. The fraudsters are wooing Nigerians with claims that the central bank was giving out 50 billion eNaira currency to citizens. However, the CBN Director of Corporate Communications, Osita Nwanisobi, disclosed in a statement that its attention had been drawn to criminal activities of some individuals, including a fraudulent Twitter handle at eNaira_CBDC, purported to belong to the Central Bank of Nigeria. Away from there now, the World Bank has stated that it is in disagreement with the Central Bank of Nigeria on ways the Nigerian Apex Bank is planning to achieve its price stabilization objective. The country director for Nigeria World Bank, Shuban Chaudhry, made this disclosure. He also said even though the World Bank aligns with the CBN on the need to achieve price stability as one of its core mandates, it differed on the process and choice of policies in accomplishing this. Chaudhry further said the Naira should be allowed to respond to real pressures as opposed to the CBN trying to bottle up the pressures. And on the African scene now, Equity Group has set aside 500 billion shillings to finance Kenyan and South African firms seeking to trade or invest in Africa in a move to expand its business beyond 7 countries where it operates. The bank will offer credit to companies that want to set up manufacturing, construction, health and investment firms, facilitate value addition through processing and packaging, and finance export or import business. The lender will be tapping into about $500 billion or shillings funds, out of which close to 100 billion shillings will be from development institutions such as the African Development Bank and the rest from customers' deposit. The bank is eyeing the South African firms also to establish its presence in the market without setting up physical branches and raising competition for other commercial banks such as Absa Bank and Standard Bank. And on the international scene, Asian stock fell Thursday amid concerns that the recovery from the pandemic will slow as high inflation rate forces tighter monetary policy. Shares slipped in Japan and China and were little changed in South Korea, where Samsung Electronics Company's third quarter profit exceeded the estimate. US and European futures edged up after the tech-heavy Nasdaq 100 touched an intraday record, and the S&P 500 dipped but stayed inside of all-time highs. Flatter sovereign yield curves are highlighting growth worries as price pressures stoked by an energy crunch and supply chain snarls push central banks toward paring accommodation. The yen and gold advanced and resource-linked currencies struggled in a sign of cautious investor sentiment. In the oil market now, prices slumped to their lowest in 2 weeks after official figures showed a surprise jump in U.S. inventories of crude and rising cases of COVID-19 in Europe, Russia, and some outbreaks of infections in China dented hopes for an economic recovery. Brent crude dropped $1.58 or about 1.9% to $83 a barrel, having hit a 2-week low of $82.32 earlier and falling by 2.1% in the previous session. U.S. oil fell 1.39, that is $1.39 to about $81.27 a barrel on a week-on-week low after dropping 2.4% in Wednesday. Outbreaks of coronavirus infections in China and record deaths and the threat of lockdowns in Russia, along with the rising cases in Western Europe, were putting the brakes on a multi-week rally in oil prices. Well, and that's much we can take on business news at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Franco Malape. It's back to you now, Michael.
Many thanks, Frank. Entertainment news is next.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment News. I am Omobolanle Adeshui. Kevin Hart is finally putting his old sex tape scandal totally in his rearview mirror now that his former friend JT Jackson has been cleared of a criminal wrongdoing in the case. Kevin posted a video announcing the good news for Jackson, saying he couldn't speak about the case previously because the legal process was still playing out. He admits, quote, "I'm happy that that chapter in my life is over. I'm happy that we're able to put a period on that sentence." End of quote. It's a big win for Jackson, who Kevin once believed had tried to extort him over the 2017 video recorded in Las Vegas hotel room. Jackson had been hit with 4 charges: attempted extortion, attempted concealing and selling stolen property, unauthorized use of personal ID, and identity theft. The first 3 had been dropped due to insufficient evidence back in 2019, and now the final charge for identity theft has gone the same way. Kevin says he's putting the whole issue behind him and moving on, and we are sure Jackson's happy to be able to do the same. Hong Kong's legislature passed the new film censorship law on Wednesday to safeguard national security, though critics say it will dampen creativity in its world-famous movie industry and further reduce freedoms in the former British colony. China imposed a sweeping national security law over its most restive city last year, and Hong Kong's legislature has no opposition. Lawmakers left after mass resignations from the pro-democracy camp in protest against the ousting of some colleagues. The Hong Kong government says the film censorship law was aimed at content deemed to endorse, support, glorify, encourage, and incite activities that might endanger national security. The law empowers Hong Kong's chief secretary, the second most powerful figure in the city's administration, to revoke a film's license if it is found to be contrary to national security interests. Punishment for violating the law includes up to 3 years imprisonment and fines of up to 1 million Hong Kong dollars. That's it on Entertainment News. I am Omobolanle Adeshui. It's now back to Michael.
Thank you very much, Omobolanle. Sport news comes up next.
On sports business at this hour, a Czech-based billionaire is within days of agreeing the purchase of a big stake in West Ham United that could lead to a full takeover. Daniel Křetínský, who owns the Czech top-flight side Sparta Prague, has big stakes in Royal Mail and Jess Sainsbury and is in advanced talks to acquire a 27% stake in the Premier League club. The transaction could be announced as soon as the first weekend of November when West Ham United takes on Liverpool at London Stadium. Financiers have disclosed that the deal is expected to include an option to take full control of West Ham United after an unspecified period. Mr. Křetínský's initial stake purchase is likely to value the club at between £600 million and £700 million, according to an individual that is briefed on the transaction. Křetínský proceeds to take full control of West Ham. It would end the decade-long control of David Gold and David Sullivan, who acquired the club in 2010. If confirmed, it will be the latest in a series of major deals involving Premier League clubs following the controversial sale of Newcastle United to a Saudi-led consortium. A minority stake in Wolverhampton Wanderers also changed hands in recent weeks as clubs seek to fortify their balance sheets in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Kretansky, who owns assets in the energy, media, industrial and retail sectors, has become a significant player in corporate Britain and now ranks as the largest shareholder in Royal Mail and the second largest in Sainsbury. And still talking sports business, US betting and fantasy sports company DraftKings has ended its $22.6 billion pursuit of UK-based company N10. After recently extending its negotiating period for 6 months to secure the acquisition, DraftKings has now become the second US company to walk away from a deal with N10 after MGM's $11 billion deal was turned down in January. Due to British legislation, the gambling company DraftKings is now unable to submit an additional bid for N10, which owns numerous betting brands, including Ladbrokes, Coral, and Bwin, for at least 6 months. N10 revealed the initial proposal from DraftKings in September, with the US betting company offering $3.86 per share to be paid in both stock and cash. The DraftKings deal was said to be complicated by MGM Resorts and N10's co-ownership of the BetMGM. And that's it on Sports Updates. I'm Samson Oleide.
Thank you so much, Samson. And with that, we end the news. Thank you very much for being part of it all. I'm Michael Nath.
Body go dey pay you, even your fingernails go dey pay you. But
they say na old broom na you know every corner for your house. So if you sweep some things where you need to see, go sweep them out for you, for your house and for my house. But Tatafo just know all the story with the inside, outside, internationally, yonder and locally, and they go bring and come for now on top of Tatafo gist. And now let me be the queen. And they like to touch my head whether they call my name. Now let me be the queen. Calliope will give her all the gist what I need to know for Tatafo gist. But before I go tell the story today, today. Plenty story there for Tatafo gist. I beg me, follow me, go somewhere. And when we come back, man, still remain with me for Tatafo gist. Oh. Yes, we see the for Tatafo gist, and now let me gonna give all the gist what I need to hear as I don't say for Tatafo gist till they day my mouth, and I they like to talk the gist as they sweet. As Air Force official, the man with the way for Air Force don't jam person. Say it gets sometimes when you go walk out for road there, you gonna see some people BRT lane when they're not supposed to pass. They'll go they pass that BRT lane, and when they pass that BRT lane, they will come. It gets some people they like to climb bridge. I don't know if like they paying them to climb bridge. They not place they won't pass, and they go to cross road. And if they cross road, people they pass BRT lane, they always they run, they pass up. But this time an Air Force official, 9 don't kill one man where they call Mr. Ifeanyi Kanu, where they go on you get one school they call Temple School. In they go there and where they teach these school children cultural dance and music. Now they teach these children, and this Air Force man called Jamam. He can't die. Now we hear the story we hear say he jam him now you can't kill him. Now the Air Force people, as they can't carry in dead body go mortuary, that's for Air Force base, for their base, now in they carry in dead body go. Come they offer in family 200,000. But they tell what they have to say this 200,000 are to forget in the man dead body or na make the dry the water we don't day for the family I already. And they told where they pin everybody for the whole team. They say, if fine now the 7th became of him papa and mama, that means say he still gets 6 for back weighing senior, and again his mama just dies. Like say mama died 2 months ago. He must see the mortuary. They never bury mama. They never bury mama. Now if fine don't die, they don't kill fine. Moto jammy fine. But as the story they come, he get one man will be actor they call Shegun, Mr. Shegun Ade Fila. Mr. Shegun talk say. These people say now you talk all the story who if I be say if I in a Lagos artist, that means say the guy in the go soon blow. He's supposed to don't blow, you understand? Where person get prospect as they call him, he go soon they known for the whole world. But making the hustle small till they take care of him papa and the younger ones. Now the whole story where they hear be say Air Force people talk say no be them jam am. Say now one bus driver now kill him, but they just carry him. Put for their motor first go keeping just to help him, but before he no die immediately as they carry him. Now when he reach hospital he die. Now they don't put him body for mortuary. They just won't be good citizen. But if you won't be good citizen, why you can't they offer the family money? If no be you jam why they offer the family money? Now it be the question waiting for people mouth now. Why do they offer them money if no be on a kill him? You know for Tatafojis they get some G. Go here, you go ask yourself, say, why people go they do some things where they make your tummy they turn you. Your tummy go just go they communicate with your body. At the end of the day, you don't know why your tummy they communicate with your body. No be on a jam, but on they carry money they give the family. Now to wipe their tears, I mean not to how the family won't take this one, how they won't take console themselves, especially this man and the breadwinner of him papa. Of in family, maybe na him they pay for light, they pay for this, or na him they feed him papa. Make we they mind ourselves for this country. And so recently for Tatafojis as gas don't go up, and I want Chief Shino Lowoye will be the Chief Executive Officer of Eco Gas Energy Resources Limited. Now you talk say it's not easy for the people when they use gas. Even for their personal cooking, even if now say you they use and sell something, or you they use and they cook for your family, say you know easy again. Say people don't they complain. Say things to take it safe, no cheap. As in food item to buy things for market, you know they easy. You can't buy the thing again, can't reach out again. To the gas cooker we go take cook am no easy. People gonna talk say it be like saying to chop for mama put na ain't cheap now. Because with 500 naira now, me if you go your mama put like here Basilia we dey down the street now, I go buy rice 250, I go buy beans 50 naira, I go even buy all the things where go give me protein go there inside, meat go there inside, rice go there inside, I go like inside, I go buy and put on top, so I don't go miss one common food where. So if they check my belly, they go know say my belly, my intestine get all the ingredients of food, if that language correct for my belly. Say to cook now, you know they easy just for you to buy rice. Rice, the Rika will not be 600 naira, 400 naira, 500 naira. You can't buy beans, 800 naira, the Rika of beans, bag of beans, 1,000. You can't think of the 7,000 you want to buy gas. Even if not the small one, 2,000. You know they easy. Some people now don't get that character now, so they buy gas of 150 for 10 kilo, for 10 kg gas. You can't look, you see them every week, for every month, they carry gas up and down. Because they try to cut their money, they try to pinch money. So they beg government, say, for the people they import, and this too they import, it don't they high for them. It be like, say, we go, even kerosene self don't go up. Charcoal now, if we say make we go back to charcoal or go back to kerosene, I don't know, maybe we'll carry stone, put like this, put stone like this, can't carry pot, put for on top of the stone. But at the end of the day, she will go put paper, take boy what you want to cook. So this man, they beg the government, say for people they import this thing, say the money they go up. And if the money go up, you can't go back to the users. That's we and you, where they use this thing cook. So may they help. So this thing will feel come down. So people self, you know, say kerosene, to use kerosene, you know, they easy. Even me as I realize, you dare not say make you put on stove near me, now cough. I no go know wetin I dey breathe again, if na fresh air abi na design air I dey breathe abi na dark air. So I beg to make things easy, make they help us bring down the price of this cooking gas. So at least we're going to live life very calm and quiet life. And tourists today for Tatafo Gist, and na me the queen gets am for mouth. As they say, prisoners go to chop well. Thumbs up, prisoners. If I did, I make I just be happy for all these prisoners. Not me put on a there. No, I know waiting carry on. I go there, but Senate don't come out, don't talk this will go better for now. Say on I go to chop well. Say they don't add money before now 450 naira. Now it be the money for food 3 times, morning, afternoon, night, 450 naira. Even me, for morning, I dey chop past 450 naira now. You go come make small bikini. Children of nowadays, if you finish 1 pack of spaghetti, make on mission now, can 1 pack of spaghetti if you no go finish them. So the Senate don't come and say they don't change their money from 450 naira to 1,000 naira. Now the Senate committee of the interior, the committee of interior. Now different place they record them. Now I come out this week, come talk say all the thing where they happen for Nigeria now, say the things where they happen for the Nigerian correction services where they put inmates. They like this thing because you know that is for Tatafo Gist. Different things they happen, but make you no worry because now life with day and when